Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the videos out. I really appreciate all of the continued support. We have more PlayStation news to go over and discuss in this video. So before we dive into today's topics, make sure you do me a big favor and hit the like button to help the video out and show it your support. And if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well. The first topic we're going to be discussing here is one that I honestly didn't think we would still be talking about at this point, because it's one of these things where PlayStation fans want this, and recently there's just been a lot of bizarre, strange things going on that are leading PlayStation fans who want this to believe that, okay, maybe it's actually happening, just to have it shot down over and over again. And yet we still have weird, bizarre things popping up that just kind of make it difficult to just brush past this. So what I'm talking about is backwards compatibility, specifically with PS3 games, and what Sony might be planning. And I have to put emphasis on the word might. And so this is reading from PlayStation Universe, where it says Sony is keeping tight-lipped on any plans to extend its PS5 backwards compatibility functionality, but hope has been reignited after an error saw PS4 trophies mysteriously vanish and reappear as PS3 games. While the problem has been corrected, it did raise alarm bells when users discovered the problem earlier today with the trophy list for both PS4 and PS3, as well as the PlayStation app only correctly displaying PS5 trophies. PS4 titles displayed a 0% completion rate, and only a PS3 logo was shown in place of the PS4 version. This resulted in a lot of speculation around the web that Sony could be working on some sort of backwards compatibility update for the PS5, hence the error. This isn't the only instance where it appears Sony may be up to something. Earlier this month, a number of PS3 games started to trickle onto the PS3 store, which suggests something related to backwards compatibility could be in the works. And so I'm sure many of you have been following this, and how everything that has popped up so far has either been debunked or explained away, and this very well could be the exact same situation. I don't want to give anybody a sense of false hope here. This very well could be a glitch. In fact, it does sound like it's another glitch. But the one thing that is really starting to kind of stand out to me here is how it's happening consistently. It's almost like on a weekly basis, there's something glitching out or going wrong that just shouldn't be. And at this point, I think even the most skeptical could probably look at all of the things that have happened in such a short period of time and be like, yeah, that's a little strange, but that doesn't necessarily mean we should jump to conclusions and assume that, well, that's it. That's what Sony's doing. They're working on local or native, whatever you want to call it, PlayStation 3 backwards compatibility alongside PS2 and PS1 games that are set to be announced alongside Spartacus. I don't want to jump to that conclusion, but I certainly do want to bring this to your attention. I kind of have a theory that if Sony is, doing work on the back end with the PlayStation Network to prepare for Spartacus, maybe that would explain why all of this is happening kind of, so close together, and it just seems to be like a weekly thing where there's just something going wrong or something glitching out. That could very well be why this is happening, and that doesn't necessarily mean that Sony's getting ready to announce, local or native PS3 backwards compatibility. But that's not going to stop some PlayStation fans from being hopeful based on this, and so there you go. At this point, you can make of it what you will, but still, we're going to have to just remain patient until Sony is ready to talk about their plans with backwards compatibility and PlayStation Spartacus. We are moving on to the next topic, though, which talks about Horizon Forbidden West. We are getting ever closer to the release of this game, and today we had the first hands-on previews releasing, and I have to tell you that after watching specifically IGN's preview, I am blown away. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I was convinced that Horizon Forbidden West is going to, live up to expectations, and expectations are very high. That's worth noting. I was convinced that it's absolutely going to live up to these expectations, but after, listening to the hands-on preview that IGN put out, and really them just kind of diving deep into this game, Granted, it was the earlier section of the game, so no major spoilers or anything. You can tell that this is a title that's likely going to surpass expectations in quite a few different areas. And so we have an interesting write-up here from Gaming Bolt, where they say Horizon Forbidden West has already gone gold, but despite trailers for the story, cast, and new machines, there's still a lot more to experience. IGN had a chance to go hands-on with it for 4 hours and provided some new gameplay along with detailing the various improvements made over the original. Briefly showcased in the first gameplay walkthrough, free climbing looks to be incredibly seamless. While not everything can be climbed, the amount of surfaces that can be scaled has been greatly expanded on. All you have to do is quick tap R3 for the focus and it will help highlight all of the areas that you're able to climb. Some of the new skills were also detailed, like shooting arrows in such a manner that they rain down onto enemies. New weapons like the Shredder Gauntlet and Plasma Bolt Caster are also showcased alongside the improved melee combat. Acid will also be a useful tool, along with dealing extensive damage to create clouds that will damage nearby foes. For those who want to focus primarily on combat, there's a new arena which features timed challenges against a variety of machines like the Slitherfang. It's a multifaceted fight thanks to the large machine's sheer number of abilities and makes for one of Forbidden West's most memorable battles. And I did actually watch that. It looked really awesome. And this wasn't the only aspect of the preview that they focused on. They also focused on just the amount of detail that is now in like each settlement, with just so much going on. There's just people all around having conversations, just behaving in a more natural manner. Obviously, there is an extreme attention to detail with the facial animations and how much improvement has went into this. And so the list just kind of goes on here, and the general vibe I'm getting from these previews is that when you look at Horizon Zero Dawn, to a lot of people, it was almost a perfect game. For some people, they did consider it a perfect game, but the foundation was there. And a lot of people were hoping, a lot of Horizon fans, that whatever Guerrilla Games decides to do with a sequel, they don't deviate from that too much, but instead they just kind of focus on the areas where there can be further refinement, where it can kind of be fleshed out in a more significant way. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. And it seems like they're really going above and beyond when it comes to refining every single area and just really trying to take things to the next level. And I do genuinely get that impression with what I'm seeing here with Horizon Forbidden West, and I couldn't be more excited for it. So just wanted to take a moment to let you guys know about that. Also, we have some other information about Horizon Forbidden West. This is reading from Push Square, where the title says Aloy's uber powerful Shield Weaver armor has lost its power in Horizon Forbidden West. They go on to say, well, we all expected it, really, didn't we? The best armor in Horizon Zero Dawn was the Shield Weaver, which practically made Aloy unstoppable in combat. While you had to work through a number of side quests to collect it, the souped-up threads effectively engulfed the protagonist in an impenetrable energy shield, allowing her to tank through attacks. It was ultimately an endgame reward, recognition that you'd seen everything the game had to offer. Naturally, it was never going to be anywhere near as potent in the sequel Horizon Forbidden West, and here's the proof. A screenshot from IGN's preview coverage confirms that the renamed Nora Anointed armor has lost its power source and been modified to augment ranged combat. In terms of aesthetics, the armor is largely identical with its colorful belt design, but you can see that it's powered down in Forbidden West, as all the glowing spots all over the fabric are dimmed. Ultimately, we knew that the Shield Weaver would have to be altered for the sequel, as you'd effectively be starting out with the best armor, and that would be a bit boring. So I wanted to be sure to let you guys know about this, because this was something that was talked about, where every time we saw Aloy in the previews, this is what she was wearing. And a lot of people were thinking like, well, it seems like Aloy is going to be, OP at the start of Horizon Forbidden West, but now we know that that's not going to be the case. And I think that's for the best, because, we wouldn't want the experience to just come off as like a breeze and just way too easy, and just essentially playing as an OP character from the start. That wouldn't be very fun, and I think most people's opinions. But next up, we're talking about another first-party title from PlayStation, that being Gran Turismo 7. Apparently, it has been revealed that GT7 will be about 90 gigabytes on PlayStation 5. So these first-party PlayStation 5 titles are just taking up massive chunks of the SSD. And so it says here that if you thought Horizon Forbidden West is big, wait till you hear about Gran Turismo 7's download size. Twitter user PlayStation Game Size has once again scraped PSN servers for information on upcoming games and has found an entry for GT7's PS5 version, which reveals that the game weighs in at a whopping 89.4 gigabytes without a day one patch. Unlike Horizon Forbidden West, there's actually no information about GT7's size differences between regions. European versions of games tend to be bigger in size due to localization files and support for a variety of languages, so it's possible that this one will touch 100 gigabytes across the pond. It's worth reiterating that some games may appear to be 10 to 20 gigabytes bigger in size on PlayStation's database than what they actually weigh on consoles, and a day one patch can potentially compress sizes, so GT7 could be under 90 gigabytes. But that's something that we should also mention briefly about Horizon Forbidden West. Some people were confused as to why the file size for Horizon Forbidden West, specifically in Europe, was larger, and that's why it has to do with localization. And again, the same will likely be true here for GT7. So definitely going to want to make sure you have enough space on your SSD for these games. But we also have an interesting rumor that has popped up regarding GT7. Some people fear that Sony may be getting ready to announce a delay for Gran Turismo 7, which I don't think is likely. But this comes from Tom Henderson on Twitter, and he came out here and he said the Gran Turismo 7 media event, which was scheduled to take place tomorrow, has been delayed by Sony, and a new date hasn't been given or an explanation as to why. It's a tad concerning as the game is due to launch on March 4th. He continues by saying, deleted the delay tweet because it was a bit confusing. I was referring to the Last of Us 2 event that got pushed and subsequently the game got delayed. They are not connected in any way apart from that. So basically what he's trying to say is that we saw something similar happen with The Last of Us Part 2. The media event was delayed, and then the game ended up getting delayed, and so we're kind of seeing the same pattern here, or similar pattern, I should say, with GT7. The event was delayed for no reason, and, you know, it is a sign that maybe Sony is getting ready to delay GT7. Hopefully that's not the case, but at this point, we have to be ready for anything. The final topic I have for you guys, though, talks about a game I'm incredibly excited for, that being SIFU. We have the download size and preload date revealed, as well as trophies. So this comes once again from PlayStation Game Size, where he says SIFU's download size is 7.1 gigabytes. The preload begins on February 6th. However, if you did get the special edition of the game, the digital edition, it gives you 2 days early access. So the preload for it will actually begin on February 4th. And then it's going to launch on February 8th for everybody. And again, if you have the digital deluxe version, you will have access to it on February 6th. But it seems that if you are somebody like myself who is going to attempt to get the platinum trophy for SIFU, it might be a tough one. This is reading from Push Square, where they say initially it seems like a very straightforward trophy list with some bronzes awarded for clearing each chapter and collecting important items. The further down you scroll, though, things start to get more complicated. For instance, there are trophies for clearing the game with the protagonist aged 50 or less, as well as clearing it aged 25 or less, the latter of which probably will be pretty challenging. To recap, each time you die in SIFU, you come back to life, but the character is a couple of years older. Continues by saying trophies also pop for completing secondary activities, performing certain actions during fights, and earning specific rewards from the shrine. All in all, it looks like a pretty fun trophy collection, but given that this seems to be a pretty tough game with an intricate combat system, feels like getting the platinum might be a tall order. And so honestly, this does kind of get me excited because I was hoping that this game would provide a bit of a challenge when it comes to getting the platinum. And I have to admit, that one right there, you know, clearing what I believe is the entire game without aging more than 25. I mean, it sounds like you basically have to become an expert at this game, and to me that sounds pretty fun because I plan to spend a lot of time playing SIFU. But there you go, that's everything I have for you guys. Be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. I'll be interested to see what you have to say. Leave the video a like if you enjoyed it or found it informative. Subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.